Welcome back, everyone, to the Sisters in Law of Attraction podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Christine.
And we're so thrilled you're back with us. Last time we were talking about, taking the whole pie of life, eat that whole damn pie. And there's one thing that always holds us back, and that is fear. And fear stands in the way of us taking action. So today we're going to dig a little deeper into this whole fear thing. And Christine, take it away.
Yes, hello. So I am going to open this episode up with a quote that I heard listening to a speaker named Eddie Pinero. And he has a podcast himself. He's very empowering. And he opened it up with, or excuse me, okay, we're going to start over.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to do? I can redo the intro.
I'm so sorry.
No, yeah, you're totally fine. And I can. Might have been too wide of a.
No, you were perfect.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
totally perfect. I couldn't get my words out. I was making it sound like a quote from Eddie Pinero, and it's not.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for coming back to Sisters in Law of Attraction. I'm Sam.
And I'm Christine.
And we're thrilled you're with us on this journey. Last time we kind of dug into this idea of that there's three main things that you need in order to make the real life you want to lead. And you've got to, number one, you got to feel good, right? You got to be high vibey. You got to be aligned with the universe. Number two, you got to have vision. You got to have clarity around what you want. Too many of us focus on what we don't want. And then the third one is action. You just got to do shit. You got to take action. You don't have to have the whole roadmap figured out and the how, but you got to take action. And the one major thing that stands in the way of action, yep. What is it, Christine?
It is fear.
Exactly.
It is fear.
And today we are going to dig more into this idea of fear, how it holds us back, and how we can tell it to take a suck-it sandwich, as Jen Sincero tells us, and you are a badass.
Yes. So, one of the things that spoke to me so much was a quote that is from Joseph Campbell. And I came across it listening to a motivational speaker named Eddie Pinero. And when I heard this quote, I stopped, I got my phone out, I text messaged it to myself because it was such a realization of, wow, I am in control. I can be in control. And the quote is a little bit lengthy, so I'll go ahead and say it now, and then we can dive into a couple themes that come from this quote. And it goes like this. The cave you defeat, and the quote goes like this. The cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. Why? Because to face the dancing shadows is to gain power over them. It shows our mind that reality is far less scary than our perception of reality. That no chain or lock or wall can be more debilitating than the mental constraints we create by ourselves in our heads. It shows that the man guarding the door can just as easily be the one who unlocks it. And that last part sent chills up my spine through my whole body.
Yeah, no, I love it. The cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. Holy shit.
Right. And realizing that I am the one keeping me from greatness and from the thing that I want, whatever that thing is, whether it's a type of life or a material object or whatever it is, that I am the one holding me back. And also I am the one who can unlock that gate and let me through and let me in to go see and find and do and experience.
Right. And this concept really kind of rings true to me. Most of my professional career has been writing for others, right? I've told people what to say, how to say it, and when to say it my whole career. And I had the opportunity to write a book, and it scared the crap out of me. Why? Because I was finally going public with my own words, and that scared the crap out of me, right? But I didn't realize the treasure that was waiting for me in facing that fear.
Yeah.
And fear is so it's such a construct, right? I mean, we create and we give it so much power
Yeah.
in our own minds. And I think that the quote kind of, hits on that concept that we construct this false reality in our head.
That's so much worse than actuality, right? The narrative that we tell ourselves is so often not reflective of what's actually happening.
And that shows the power of your thoughts, right? It's if you can just tweak your thoughts, you can create your own reality. And when I realized this, when I finally gave up this incessant need to control everything and just let go, and because at the end of the day, control is about fear. Why am I trying to control this situation? Why am I trying to control the outcome of here? Right? Because I'm fearful. I'm fearful that the outcome that I want is not accessible to me. So it's releasing that control, having faith,
Yes.
and being open and just being open to something new
Right.
in your life.
Right. Absolutely. And realizing that there are so many opportunities out there, and if it didn't matter to you, you wouldn't fear trying it. Right? Like, we don't, if it's not valuable to you, then you don't really care whether or not it works out. And so if there is something that you hold valuable that you want to go after, that means you care. You want it. So why not try for it?
Right. Right.
And that is, and I think that the fear tricks us into feeling that we're comfortable, that
Yes.
like we love it, right? Comfort zones were my best friend,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It's safety, it's security, it's okay, I know all of this, and so I can't get hurt again, right? But
Right.
also all of my traumas happened as I was waiting for the next shoe to drop. So it's not like living like that. It didn't stop bad things from happening,
Right.
right? All
Yeah.
it did was steal my joy in between them.
Exactly.
And I manifested more negative thoughts and
Right.
more, and it truly is wild being on this side of it. And I have a journey to go.
Sure.
It's a lifelong journey for sure.
Well, and
But
it's a practice, right? It's a discipline because
it
again,
is.
it's easy to feel good when you feel good. And when bad things happen, negative things happen in all of our lives, right? But it's how you think about the situation. It's how you react to the situation. That's what's really what you're in control of, and that it's your thoughts about it.
Right.
I'd always for a long time, obviously, I was a brilliant mother, by the way, right? I mean, I had all the answers, right? Telling the kids, just change the tape in your head,
Yeah.
right?
Turn the page.
Change the tape, right? Turn the page, right? Change that tape, and changing those thoughts out of the fear-based, control-based mindset. That's the work, right?
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
work.
That is absolutely the work. And I am not terribly religious, but I am very spiritual. And I was telling you and another girlfriend, like, I feel like I go to my resources, whether it's books or podcasts or 21-day challenges or meditations or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I go to those like I think religious people would go to their Bible. And
Right.
it's okay. So, you know what? I need a reminder from somebody who knows more than me at this time that it is all going to be okay. I
Yeah.
just have to lean into the faith
Right.
and the faith of trusting that it is all going to work out. It's
Right.
never not worked out. I'm still alive. I have
Yeah.
an amazing husband, two amazing children. Like
Yep.
it's always worked out. Maybe not how we thought it would, but that's not for us to control, right?
Well, and isn't it amazing when you give up control too on how quickly you pivot? Because sometimes we're focused on the wrong thing. We're so focused on, this one breakthrough that we need in our life or whatever, or thing that we want, whatever it is, whether it's an opportunity or something materialistic or whatever it is, we're so focused on it that when it doesn't come to pass, we get pissed.
Yeah.
And then we keep on banging our head against the wall until we get it. But instead of just taking a deep breath and saying, you know what? Maybe this isn't meant for me. And then pivoting and turning your head and looking at all the other paths there are out there.
Right.
Maybe that
Realizing
just wasn't
that,
wasn't your path,
right.
know? And having trust in that and having it's like for me, I've gone in and out of this work, if you will. I started living it more big more than 10 years ago because, life was just kind of meh and I was trying to control everything and I just wasn't happy. And so that's why when I started this journey, but I think the turning point, quite frankly, and I hate to even bring up this horrible word, but I'm going to, because it's really reveals the power of fear in my own life when I didn't think I was fearful. And that was during COVID. And I'm just going to say it, and we don't have to live in this space for too long, but I'm just going to say that period of my time, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off on a lot of it, mostly because my oldest daughter was a 2020 grad and everything got taken away from her. She didn't have a high school graduation, no, senior prom, blah, 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 blah. It all got taken away from her. And I was just like pissed at the world. And I remember just being angry.
Yeah.
And my family's telling me, Mom, and my husband, Sam, like, chill out. Like, we're good. The kids were like, oh my God, they were living their life, right? I mean, Max was a freshman in high school and he's, riding his bike all over town and living his life and going to, cabins with their friends. I did hold school in this house. I had, PE class in the backyard. I mean, we had math class at the dining room table. I mean, I had kids everywhere. So, because I knew it was so important that these kids were still engaged socially.
Absolutely.
So I decided, okay, I got to stop being pissed because, I guess I got to be. So I literally sat in the corner and I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to be pissed anymore. And then I just got sad.
Yeah.
And I went, ew, I don't like this. And what I realized in the continuum of emotion, right? On one end is, pure joy, and the other end is pure, desperation. And then there's everything in between. My happiness set point, perhaps is a little higher or lower than others, whatever it is. But I realized that the lowest point that I would get on that continuum was was anger.
Yeah.
And then when I gave up that anger, right, I went even further into the dark side and I got sad.
Yeah.
And I did not like that at all. But I did realize that anger really and truly is a form of fear.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
and lack of control.
We'll be done with that whole COVID conversation.
Well, it all, right though, call it whatever time period it is, but the bottom line is that you didn't have control.
Exactly.
And so
exactly
that not only did you not have control, but it's affecting your most loved beings in a negative way. And
right.
And
it brought me to this, and I think it's one of the tools, Christine, that I know that you feel strongly about, and that's the journaling piece. And for years, you hear about write what you're grateful for. Write down, okay, you know, if you're in the light of gratitude, like you can't be fearful if you're grateful.
Right.
Those two don't exist together, right? And so it was during that time, soon after, like, you know, after being pissed and angry and sad and pissed and angry and sad, like the whole thing, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like me. This isn't fun. While I can't control the outside world, I sure as hell can control how I think about this. So that's when I started my gratitude journal. Every morning I get up. Thankfully, my husband does an early morning boot camp, so he's out of the house. He's an attorney, so he talks to people all day, and he is a little talker man. First thing in the morning, he just wants to chat, 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 chat. I don't want to be talked to in the morning. I want my quiet time. And so anyhow, so he's gone to his boot camp. I get up. I sit in what I call my little morning chair. I, you know, light my candle. I put on my little music, and I sit down and literally write, I am grateful for 10 times.
Yep.
Fill in the blank. And I got to tell you, I was blown away at the impact of that.
I bet.
For years, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm grateful, you know, whatever, you know. But that physical, intentional
Pen
act,
to paper.
absolutely.
Yep.
Right. And it's just, it gets you right back to the core and sets the tone, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I know that, you know, you've got some thoughts on the journaling too. That's just one way that it really, and to this day, I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Every single morning I am grateful for 10 times.
And it just sets up your day to be in that mindset of gratitude, of looking for the things to celebrate, even if it's small. It is so easy to get bogged down by stuff that goes wrong. It is a lot harder of a practice. And that's why you journal, and that's why it is called a practice, because
exactly.
it's a muscle you have to work out every day. And it'll come very naturally at some points, and at other points it will be work, and that's okay, because it's worth it. Just because it might be hard work, but it is also worth it, because on the other side of it is not living in a constant state of fear.
Yep.
Not living like the thing that you want is not attainable to you. Right? I mean, just dropping that fear is so huge, and realizing that worrying about things that haven't even happened.
Yeah.
You're worrying about something twice. You're worshiping a problem that maybe doesn't even exist.
Right. And you live in resistance, right? Mm-hmm. To what, you know, God, universe, or whatever wants for you.
Right.
God, universe, source power, whatever you want to call it, wants you happy and wants you to live the life you're supposed to lead, and you are standing in the way of it. You live in resistance when you're in fear, and right. It's the whole self-sabotage and limitation. You know, growing up, I always thought, classic codependent behavior, as long as I can be perfect and take care of everyone around me, everything was going to be okay. And part of that was my job to worry about every potential outcome, right? And obsessing about, and it's a little bit like your experience too, Christine, is when's the next bad shit going to happen, right? Because all that bad shit just happened. So clearly I'm just, like you said, I'm going to put my yummies on, and I'm going to get on the couch, and I'm going to love on my girls, and I'm going to be with my husband, because this is the only thing that I know can bring me comfort and joy. And because safety. You better, yep.
That feeling of security.
Because you got to brace, right? You got to brace for the next bad shit that's going to happen. And so we've talked about this before, right? We have to retrain our brains. We have to unlearn things.
And that's the easiest thing to say, to do, and the hardest thing to actually do.
It's so simple, but so hard,
although the steps are quite literally just don't do it. Right? Like, I just stop. Oh, okay. Well,
it's so easy.
But awareness, that number one step in my mind for any change at all, every single time, is awareness of your thoughts. Being
Absolutely.
aware of the story you're telling yourself, being aware of the thoughts that you're having, and quite literally speaking them out loud, realizing that it needs to be tweaked, and then saying it out loud again, but differently.
Right.
And that is truly the first step. And again, people might look at you like you're silly or whatever, but I say, laugh all you want. My mindset is so much better than it was
And
even 4 months ago.
right.
Like,
The impact in such a short period of time is so significant, right? I mean, just life, right?
right.
Life is life is more fun. Life is more meaningful and more impactful. And we can just unshackle ourselves from all of that fear that is holding us back in the life that we were meant to lead. So I think we should just, tell our listeners what they should think about and then before we come back to you next week, and that's what cave are you avoiding,
Right.
and what treasure might you find. Really spend some time with this because it will be very illustrative of the fears that have been holding you back.
Absolutely. And I think, once again, creating something with you, Sam, and putting myself out there is something that I never thought that I would do ever.
Yeah.
And so it's very much, if someone like me can do this, then I think that anybody who wants to change their mindset can. Absolutely.
Everyone has the ability to do it, and that's why we've created the podcast. And
Yeah.
we're so happy that you're here with us. We are a community of people that want to just show up with joy and gratitude and just live the life that we all want. Right. And so we're thrilled you're with us. And that's all the time we have today. And we're so looking forward to welcome you back next time.
Can't wait to dive into more.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Christine.
And this is Sisters in Law of Attraction.